Welcome to the show, Pamushana News. I'm here joined with comrade Happymore Cde Bvondo, Chidziva. He's popularly known as the MDC National Youth Chairman, and he's one of his most popular campaigns as an MTZ politician is the hashtag 99 and the hashtag #BerikangwanaTende. Welcome to the show, comrade.
Thank you.
Can you briefly introduce yourself and give us a bit of background information?
Okay, thank you. I am leader comrade Bvondo. One is Happymore Chidziva. Cde Bvondo, the family of Patrick and Christine Chidziva. Was born in Madziva by Shamba. I grew up in Sanyati. I landed Makwechere Primary School to Bugwan Secondary School, and then went to stay in Kwekwe.
In Kwekwe?
Yes.
Okay. If we may just jump a bit forward, it's particularly interesting to know the name Comrade Bvondo. How did that name come about?
Well, Comrade Bvondo is a name that I was given by my friends in the struggle as we were dealing with the militia bases in Redcliffe, our peaceful strategy of dealing with the ZANU-PF militia. And then because I'm an action man, the issue of Vondorization is more about exposing petty things.
Okay.
That is all about it.
Okay, so is it mainly of exposure, or is it got to do with violence as well? Because Bvondo sounds like more like a violent name.
No, it's not basically violence, it's exposing. Yes, it's about action,
okay.
Demonstrating. Yes, letting things that are bad out.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And if it may be of interest to note, were you affiliated to any political parties before joining the MDC-T?
Not at all. MDCT is my home, and there is no any other political party that I have joined in my lifetime.
Okay.
I joined politics at the age of 19.
Age of 19.
That was when the MDC was formed.
Okay.
Up to now.
Okay. What was the motive of what motivated you into joining politics at such a young age?
Basically, one of the key issues that made me join active politics was the marginalization of the young people of Zimbabwe. It was at that time only the old people could occupy political offices, and it basically challenged me. The issue of economic decay, the high rise of unemployment at that time, we could easily see that unemployment was getting a rise.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That would it was on my next set of questions, but I would like to jump onto it now. That nowadays, speaking of this year, the youths are not heavily involved in politics, into mainstream politics. And what strategies do you have as an MDC youth leader to make sure that the youths are involved in politics and in voting in the upcoming general elections in 2018? Okay,
the youths only have a political home, and their political home is MDCT, led by none other than Dr. Morgan Richard Trangra. Why? It is the only party that recognizes the youth sector. As we go into the next election, MDCT have put aside a youth quota for about 20% of the seats in the council, in parliament, in any other area where there shall be the issue of holding offices. There should be a 20% for the youth. Okay. Therefore, I am sure that will inspire most of the youth to join the political space, because they are included in it.
Okay, but isn't that more of a campaign gimmick? Is it set in stone? Are they guaranteed the 20% quota of the seats?
Yes, it's guaranteed, because we are there where the decisions are made. It's no longer like that other time when the decisions were made by the old and they say the youth we shall do this for you. But now we are included in making those decisions. Okay. So we will implement it. Basically, I've already started implementing it for the party.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'll come back to that. But going back again, how do your parents view your political activism, especially working with a party like the MDCT?
Well, like any other parent, my parents panicked at first because, of this party's ZANU-PF, the issue of cohesion and suppression. However, when they realized that there was no going back, and there was no reverse on it. That I'm determined to go. They just said, no, do it, but be cautious.
Okay. And can you tell us more, briefly, about your journey in becoming the MDCT National Youth Chairperson?
Well, I can't say it's a long journey, but I just joined politics as a mere activist. And from that time, it was around 1999. Then in the year 2000, I was then elected organizer of a Ward 2. Okay. Then I rose through the ranks. I became the chairperson of that Ward 2. That is in Slovenia. It was Slovenia Redcliffe,
okay,
but it's in Redcliffe area, the urban side. Then I was then elected to be the vice chairperson of the Slovenia district, Slovenia Redcliffe district.
Okay.
Then elected to chair that district around 2004-05. I was the chairperson for Slovenia Redcliffe district. From there, I went on to be elected the vice chairperson for Midlands North Province. And from there, I was elected the national rep for Midlands North Province. And at that time, I was appointed Secretary for Projects, then Deputy Secretary for Security and Defense. That was that time of Tondera Indira being Secretary for Security and Defense. And after that, in the next Congress, I was then elected again as the national rep for Midlands North, but then appointed to be the Secretary for Defense and Security. Okay. After that time, I was then elected to be the Deputy Organizing Secretary for the Youth Assembly after the death of Smangaliso Chikadaya. Okay. Then, in 2014, the youth find it necessary for me to be elected the National Youth Commander. Okay. That is the position that I am holding now. Okay. I think in the party, that is the way I have traveled. Although I was in the aspiring candidate in 2008, but I didn't contest. Then in 2013, I contested as the candidate for the party in Redcliffe. Okay. And Zani just beat me with about 200 votes. To me, I know that it was vote rigging.
Okay. What were you contesting for? Which seat was it?
That's Redcliffe constituency now.
Redcliffe constituency. Okay.
I'm still contesting there. Okay. This time around, I'm going back, and I know I've already won in Redcliffe. Okay. Yes.
Okay. Okay. And as the National Youth Chairperson for MDC, what strategies have you put in place to mobilize the youths into the party to join the MDCT?
Yeah, we have several campaigns that we are doing to mobilize the youth, to inspire them to join the movement. One of them was the #My Zimbabwe campaign. That was seeks the youth to recognize that Zimbabwe is their country. It's my nation. They must identify themselves with Zimbabwe. They must be proud of their country. They must live in Zimbabwe dignified. Okay. You see, that is the campaign that we call My Zimbabwe. Okay. So it was more action-based campaign. Okay. But it was to inspire different youth that say Zimbabwe first before you do anything. Okay. Then the other campaigns that we have are like the Berekamwana Tiende, Elitumtwana Shame. It's more into encouraging all Zimbabweans that leave no one behind, but mostly don't leave the youth behind, because we have seen in the last elections that the youth were left behind and only 2.9% were voting. Right now, we need more youth into voting. Okay. The #99 campaign, which seeks to identify all those who were born in 1999, and they must associate themselves with the movement, because that is when the movement was formed. Okay. So therefore, anyone who born in 1999 must find space in MDC, and must find himself being a change agent, because MDC is a change agent. So when you are born in 1999, you are a change agent. Okay. Those are some of the campaigns that we are running around with to try to enhance take the youth into the political party. Okay. And what measures have you put in place as the MDCT National Youth Chairperson to counter alleged SANU-PF vote rigging, and you as the MDCT and other opposition political parties as a whole,
And you guys, looking back into the time, during election times, you've lost a lot of comrades and cadres. And what are you doing so that you can protect your comrades and cadres?
Okay, thank you. Basically, for vote rigging, there is no other secret in countering vote rigging than voting in numbers. We are encouraging people to vote in numbers so that we widen the gap for rigging, so that they will not be able to rig. If you beat them 10,000 for 200, they cannot rig. That is the secret on vote rigging. That is why we have Bereka Manati, leave no one behind.
Okay.
It's the campaign that will ensure that we will avoid vote rigging. Yes, there are other mechanisms that we will be putting in place. One of them is like on the voting day at 7 o'clock, we are encouraging all people to go back to their polling station and sit there waiting for their results until their results are out. Okay. The other issues that we will do there is for us to do at that right time. If the vote is rigged, there's something that we will do. Okay. And I cannot divulge it now,
okay,
it will be done.
Okay.
And basically, what I can tell you on issue of vote rigging, it will be expensive for this regime to rig the next election.
Okay.
If they think it's easy, let them try it, but they will see the expense of it.
Okay. Okay. And what measures have you put in place again to protect yourselves and defend yourselves against attacks from the ZANU-PF militia and youths?
Oh, that one. What I can tell you is there's no one who have monopoly over violence. And the ZANU-PF youth, they don't have rights on violence. So this is our rights, their only rights. No, it's not like that. If what they must know is that violence breeds violence.
Yes.
And we cannot be victims of violence for life. No. This time around, we have better strategies to deal with the issue of violence. And one of it is the spirit of solidarity.
Okay.
Injure one, injure all.
Okay.
Yes.
But you cannot really fight with fire, can you?
No, we cannot say we will fight fire with fire. But I have said we will not wait for them to injure us all.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. We'll leave that to our imaginations and see it when it comes to fruition. And there are a lot of MDC supporters in urban areas. And how do you intend on reaching out to the rural folks? You know, because MDC-T tends to be mainly concentrated within the urban areas.
Well, yes, we have more people who come out to say we support MDC in urban areas because there's no fear or intimidation in urban areas. And there's fear and intimidation in the rural areas, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we don't have MDC supporters. That is why most of our supporters, if it's about violence, you hear violence in the rural areas. That means we have so many supporters there. That is why there is violence.
That's why they're being persecuted.
Yes,
okay.
They are there.
Okay.
So that basically our strategy for rural outreach, we have already begun it. I think you have seen us going to meet opinion leaders in the rural areas,
yes,
the suburbs, the church leaders, vendors, the makorokozas, all over the rural areas. We have been there trying to talk to them, engage them, and encourage them to participate in the political processes.
Okay.
So that is one of our rural outreach engagement, and I'm sure that we are penetrating it very well.
Okay.
Yes.
And as you had rightly said, and confirmed that your supporters in the rural areas, they're continuously persecuted and there are high numbers of violence in the rural areas. What have you done after that outreach program? Have you gone to check if they have not been persecuted or if there hasn't been dangers to their lives?
No, we didn't only go there and tour and come back. No, we are still in the rural areas.
Okay.
Recently, yesterday, I was in Matebele and in Bulilima West.
Okay.
So we are still there in the rural areas. However, as another strategy, we have already planted peace ambassador all over.
Okay.
To protect the people.
Okay.
And make sure that there is peace everywhere.
So what does a peace ambassador do?
A peace ambassador just make sure that the community is peaceful.
Okay.
You make sure that there is peace.
Okay.
When they try to persecute, or suppress our supporters there, those peace ambassadors will be in action.
Okay, so it's just as a way, because this video is going to go into the public domain, and your supporters are going to have a look at this. And is there particular reporting structure? How are they going to work in case somebody reports their case to them of violence, they've been intimidated, they've been beaten up? How are they going to know they're going to feel safe after talking to your peace ambassador?
You mean like how do supporters feel safe?
Yes. How do they know that they are? Is there a reporting structure? Is there a course of action?
Yes,
that you might feel free to?
I am the commander of the peace ambassadors.
Okay.
Yes, I command the peace ambassadors, and they report to me. What we only encourage them to do is that do all what you do peacefully and make sure that there is peace in the communities.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And how are you, as the MDCT, National Youth Chairperson, going to defend the people's victory in the upcoming elections? Let's say that MDC is successful. How are we going to do to defend that victory?
Well, the next election, that is like why I said ZANU-PF regime must not play with people's victory in the upcoming election, because it will be expensive to them. So they must not try any trick about that victory. We are, as the commander of the Youth Assembly, we are even prepared to sacrifice our life for that victory.
Okay.
For that victory itself. I cannot divulge the way we will do it, but I can tell you that we are prepared and ready already to sacrifice our lives.
To defend it by any means necessary.
Yes, by any means necessary.
Okay. And do you have any last words or anything that you would feel that we didn't address that you want to address to the people?
Well, I'm just happy that today I find this time to talk to the nation through this Pamushana news.
Yes.
What I want to tell the youth down there is that it is our time, and 2018 is the only last opportunity and the last bullet that we have to define, secure, and defend our future. So I encourage all the youth outside in Zimbabwe and outside Zimbabwe that this is our opportunity. Let's not lose this opportunity, and let us take this struggle as our struggle. And these parents of us, they must just support us, and as we take charge to the next election. Next election should be a win for the youth of Zimbabwe. Thank you.
Okay. Well, you heard it from myself, from the man Cde Bvondo. I'm Anesu Michael Maposa from Pamushana News. Check you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you. We have launched our program, a campaign called Berekamana Tiende Benetumtwana Sihami. This campaign is report to fit in our major program here, voter identification, engagement, and recruitment. We have so many other campaigns like Berekamana. We have the hashtag 99. We have the hashtag Cde Bvondo campaign. And the background of Berekamana Tiende is that the previous elections would see parents going to vote, leaving their children behind. Comrades and friends going to vote, leaving their friends behind. So Berekamana Tiende is just encouraging each and every voter to make sure that you take all the people that surrounds you with you as you go to vote. So we are saying leave no one behind as you go to the next election. So this Berekamana campaign again is coming at a time when the struggle is no longer at the CBD. The struggle is now by your doorsteps, in your house, in your rooms. So like what I really want to let the nation know is the struggle is now in your houses, where the mother is easily seeing that there is no food to cook for the children. The father is easily seeing that there is no money to pay school fees for the children. And if you are on pension, there are no pensions coming. If you are young, there is no jobs. Unemployment has risen, and you are not working anyway. And that is the Berikamana Tiende concept. It's now saying, you, the parents, encourage your children to go and register to vote, to go and vote, to go and defend the vote in the upcoming election. That is more around the Berikamana Tiende concept that we have come up with as a party towards voter registration. Thank you.